Hey everybody, Mark here. Sometimes on the forums, which I don't normally frequent as much as I used to, go by the handle J-Train. So I wanted to make a few videos and showcase the motorcycles that I've built over the years. A lot of these I built many years ago and collected parts from around the world, and really put a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of thought into building these bikes. And I've gotten a few questions lately on posting some of these bikes on Instagram and on some social media. And I've some people that hadn't seen them before, and I just wanted to take some time and do a few videos of each bike, and kind of give a walk around and talk about some of the parts that I got on them, because they're pretty unique. You may not see them on some other bikes. But the first bike I have here is my 2006 Kawasaki zx10r, affectionately dubbed Mean Greenie. So I got this bike brand new off the showroom floor in 2006, and like most people, started with some small bolt-ons here and there, some small mods, maybe some a windscreen and some stuff here and there. And it kind of, as you can see, kind of took on a life of its own, and it's really one of my favorite bikes. This is actually I think the second lowest mileage bike I have, but I do have, I think, around 7,000 miles on it. So I have ridden the bike, quite a bit each year. Not, super high mileage, but as you can see, it's mostly a show bike now. So I guess the first thing I'll talk about is the obvious here that y'all are seeing. That's the Kawasaki kit Beat Racing full system exhaust. So this exhaust in the USA was only available through your Kawasaki dealer. It was in the Kawasaki parts factory catalog for the ZX10 that year, all new model. We went with some love the dual exhaust, some hate the dual exhaust, but they brought out the dual exhaust for 2006. Now this exhaust, I think when new, was around $2,300. It doesn't sound like much in today's world as far as exhaust, but in 2006 that was a lot of money. It was more than the Akrapovic, more than the Arta, I believe, as well too. So quite expensive for its day. It's unique because it uses an Inconel header. So Inconel is a stainless steel that's super high resistance to heat, used in some of the F1 cars of the time. And then those beautiful titanium back half with the rainbow tie cans, the green and the purple. They just, they caught my eye from day one, and I just had to have that exhaust. So that was one of the first things that I bought. I went with Olin suspension front and rear. So these are actually Olin suspension that was period correct for the 2006 ZX10R. Have the TTX shock. It was the first year that they used the TTX shock, and you could get that readily available. Let's see what else I have. Samco hose kit, silicone hose kit. Very nice kit there. Down at the bottom, you'll see that I have a carbon fiber enclosed belly pan. These are kind of hard to find these days. You won't see them very often. This one, I believe, was made by Macmoto, sourced from OPP. It's held pretty well over time, but I have to get some polishing compound every now and then and polish it up, as it's in its raw epoxy form. There's no clear coat over it. The front fender is a Harris unit from the UK, Harris carbon fiber. They made the gas cap as well, which I'll show you in a little bit. Now those front brakes are very unique on this bike. Those are a Caliper, which is a US company, but I believe they're in Europe as well. And these calipers were sourced from a buddy of mine that was stationed in the military in Europe, and he got these calipers from a Moto 2 team, believe it or not. Have Alth Rotors, an Italian company. Nice mismatch with the blue there. You'll see some other blue effects on the bike as well. The wheels are very special as well. So these wheels are a PVM forged magnesium 10Y wheel. I got these from EMA, which is a company now that I think is out of business. They had produced several sets of these teams for a race team, and the race team basically went defunct before they could come to the track. And I bought this set of wheels at a deep discount, brand new, back in around probably 2006, 2007. So the rear sets are, again, pretty special for this bike. You won't see these very often on a Kawasaki, and especially you didn't see them at the time this bike was built. These are Rizoma rear sets with some optional pegs and the optional carbon fiber heel guard. Great pieces of kit, great rear sets. I've loved them. They've been very good. They look awesome. They work well, you know, fine Italian quality. You'll also see a couple other Rizoma pieces. Like I have some Rizoma mirrors, the dynamic mirrors, Rizoma oil cap. These Rizoma mirrors are awesome. I run them on 2 of my bikes. They're Rizoma dynamic, one of the most basic sets, but they're just all, you know, fine crafted, machined aluminum, powder coated in black or maybe anodized, but they just look great. Got a Puig double bubble screen. This was before the MRA became the fashionable thing, but I have an MRA on my 04, but this is just a great piece as well too. It's been done well over time as well. I've always liked the light smoke look. Gives you a little bit of clarity still that you would get with the race screen, but still gives you a little bit of a tint to kind of darken the bike up a little bit. You'll see some carbon fiber intake ducts covers there. Just a little touch there, and you'll see that I went with the Zeus fasteners all the way around. Had to do a little bit of modification to the factory panels to make them work, but I made it work. I got a CRG folding clutch lever, and on the right side you'll see I have the Brembo RCS. Great budget friendly, pretty budget friendly master cylinder. On my 04 I run a Billet HP Brembo master cylinder, and I think this RCS is almost as good. You'd be hard pressed to know a difference if you're riding the bikes side by side. That quick throttle, that's from a company in Japan called Active. They make Gale Speed wheels as well. Great company there, great company to deal with. I think I've got that from Webbike, I want to say, which is a Japanese importer that imports fine Japanese parts into the United States. Great quick throttle. Got that on 2 of my bikes as well. Some Renthal clip-ons. Those were new when this came out. Now they're pretty standard. Great clip-on. I love the look of it. I love the titanium anodized handlebars and the bar ends. I'll run Renthal grips on all of my bikes as well. Let me see, what am I missing? Oh, I'm missing just some little touches here and there. I got a Woodcraft stator cover. Woodcraft makes some great parts too. If you've never used Woodcraft on any of your stuff, make great durable parts that would easily survive in a race crash scenario. That seat cover is the newest mod that I've done to this bike. It is by a company in Canada called Louis Moto, and they'll basically customize and make anything you want. I took one of their kind of standard designs and tied it in with a different color stripes that wanted to kind of go with the hoses and some of the other blue accents in the bike. Gives it a real 90s Kawasaki theme. This was a prevalent paint scheme on the 90s Kawasaki's, was Kawasaki green and blue. This cover I had completely made in Alcantara, which is like a synthetic suede that you'll see on some of the sports cars, the seats and the steering wheels and stuff like that. It's a great material. When it gets wet, it sticks. It doesn't get slippery. So when you sweat on it, it grips better. With the lime green double stitching, really happy with this product. It's the first time I've used Louis Moto for anything, but I've got them on 2 of my bikes now as well. Other than that, you know, the majority of the body work that you can see that's green is all OEM factory Kawasaki. I wanted to keep a look on this bike that if you didn't know it and just saw it riding by or saw it in a Starbucks parking lot or a show parking lot, only the real true bike connoisseurs would really take the time to appreciate all the time and the mods and the little touches that I think make Mean Greenie special to me. So I'm sure there's some stuff I missed, like the Caliper brake lines. The Superbike brake lines were kind of new thing when I made this bike, and I'm still running them. One thing, yeah, that I did want to show too that you won't probably see on very many other bikes. 4-piston PVM billet monoblock rear caliper. I got a really good deal on this. It goes nice with the wheels. Way more than you'd ever need for stopping power on the rear brake, as most people don't use the rear brake, especially for street riding, that much. Probably about 25% of your stopping power, but it's awesome. It looks awesome. Something you just won't see. Jill's exhaust, or Jill's chain adjusters and lifter hooks. Company, I think they're still around making parts. The supply for this 06 though is long dried up now, I think, at this point now. Other than that, I got some Champs sliders I forgot to mention. These are a great product that an individual on the ZX10R net forums was actually making these kits for the 04, and I think he made them for the 06 and 07 as well, and maybe the 08 through 10 as well. But they were a great no-cut slider kit. He sold a lot of kits. Champs was his name. I'm not sure if he's still around or not making parts, but a great guy to work with. Let me see, the own steering dampener on these bikes was famous for basically being neutered and pretty much useless. They do sell a kit, which I've installed here, where you can modify the internals and make it much more usable and much more in line with what the out-of-the-box Öhlins damper is that you would buy and put on any other bike. So, I'm sure I forgot some stuff, but I think what y'all probably want to hear is hear this baby start up. So I have drove it around a little bit and got some miles in this afternoon, and I'm going to crank it up and just let you hear the sweet beat exhaust, and I'll run it through the revs a couple times for you. Well, that's pretty much it. There you have a walk around my 2006 Kawasaki ZX10R, affectionately named the Mean Greenie. Look for more videos on my channel. I haven't been very active over the years, and my daughter kind of took my channel over for a little bit. But I'm going to do some other videos on my 3 other bikes, my 04 ZX10R, affectionately named Blue Max, and my 03 very low mile RC51 build that I've been working on for the last 3 or 4 years, and my rescued 04 Honda RC51 Nicky Hayden that I paid $500 for, and then basically transformed into a legitimate custom budget build that has lots of trick parks on it as well. So stay tuned for some more videos on my channel of my different bikes, and maybe more in the future.